Greetings, Guardians of Dominion. Zeus here with another enlightening video. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the powerful team I showcased during the Area of Conquest, a lineup packed with synergy, damage and strategic potential. I'm going to break down exactly why these heroes work so well together, how each role contributes to the team's success, and the hidden interactions that can turn close battles into decisive victories. Let's jump right in. The team composition here consists of Ishmael with Fenris, Guus with either Axel or Fenris, Sebastian with Albus, Aidan with Merlin or Chorus, and for the fifth hero, you have flexibility. It could be Jorgen, Iris, Lara Croft, or other suitable heroes. The team pet is typically Axel or Chorus, depending on your preference and the battle situation. Before we dive deeper, let's make one thing clear: like every other team in Hero Wars, this one has its weaknesses. It's not an unstoppable, unbeatable formation, and I'm not claiming that it is. However, when used correctly, it's a very strong and well synergized team that can deliver impressive results. In the right matchup, this team can overwhelm the enemy with sustained pressure, high healing, and well-timed damage bursts. For the explanation, I'll use Jorgen as the fifth hero to illustrate the synergies. In a previous video, I've already broken down Jorgen and Ishmael's partnership, but here's the recap. Ishmael thrives on relentless basic attacks and massive single-target damage. However, he can get stalled by tanky frontliners or shield-heavy heroes such as Alvanna. Even if he can eventually break through, those extra seconds can be the difference between victory and defeat in a tight battle. That's where Jorgen's Leper skill changes the battlefield. It curses all enemies and redirects all physical damage to a chosen target, often skipping the tank entirely and letting Ishmael's strikes land where they matter most. This can lead to the enemy's main damage dealer or support hero dropping out of the fight much earlier than they expect. If the enemy doesn't have Sebastian, Jorgen's energy control becomes even more devastating. Heroes won't be able to use their ultimates when they want, and even Alvanna will struggle to trigger his team-wide protections. Together, they dismantle defenses and turn what could be a drawn-out fight into a quick and decisive victory. However, if the enemy does have Sebastian, Jorgen's impact is limited while Sebastian's shield is active, so timing and target selection become important. Sometimes you might delay Ishmael's burst until that shield drops to ensure maximum effect. Sebastian himself is an irreplaceable asset here, and not just for protecting against enemy control. He directly boosts Ishmael's power in two important ways. First, his passive critical hit chance increase ensures Ishmael lands more frequent and reliable crits. Second, his striking solo skill adds pure damage equal to 134% of the critical hit damage Ishmael inflicts. To put that into perspective, if Ishmael lands a 400k critical hit, Sebastian tacks on an additional 530k pure damage on top. That's enough to one-shot even heavily built tanks if their armor buffs aren't active. And since Ishmael's armor penetration is naturally high, he often doesn't need extra support in that area, freeing up team slots for other roles. Now, let's look at Ishmael and Guus together. Ishmael has vampirism, but if an enemy hero activates an armor buff, his damage, and therefore his self-healing, drops sharply. That's where Guus becomes essential. His healing output is massive, and it keeps Ishmael alive through waves of incoming damage. Because Ishmael is positioned in the tank slot here, he's taking the majority of hits, and Guus is constantly working to keep his health bar from dipping into the danger zone. The real magic of this pairing, however, comes from Guus's March of the Geese skill. The golden geese heal allies, while the grey geese damage enemies and push them back. This push effect is more than just crowd control, it can completely change the flow of battle. By shoving enemy heroes into Ishmael's range, Guus can set up situations where Ishmael strikes multiple targets with his basic attacks or cleave damage. Even in matches where Sebastian blocks Jorgen's curse, the push effect from Guus can still cluster enemies together for Ishmael to mow down. Then we have Aidan. While this team already has plenty of healing, Aidan brings an extra layer of safety through his health link with Ishmael. This shared health pool can be the difference between Ishmael falling before his phantom skill is ready or surviving long enough to dodge all incoming physical and magical attacks for a short time. However, Aidan's link is a double-edged sword. In a previous video, I explained why it's not always ideal to bond Aidan with Ishmael, and that still holds true here. If the backline is targeted by high-burst heroes like Guus or Kayla, the damage transferred through the bond can actually bring Ishmael down faster. In those matchups, you might need to reconsider who Aidan bonds with or adjust positioning to protect both heroes. Now that we've covered the main synergies, let's expand on the weaknesses. One of the biggest threats is Iris. With Ishmael in the tank slot, Iris can expose his soul, making every attack against it pure damage. This completely bypasses his phantom skill's dodge mechanic and leaves him vulnerable to being deleted in seconds. Dodge-based teams are another headache. Heroes like Dante or Aurora can make Ishmael miss key critical hits, which not only lowers his damage output but also reduces his lifesteal from vampirism. While dodge isn't guaranteed to trigger every time, even a few misses in a row can shift the momentum of the fight. This is why Sebastian is so important, not just for the pure damage boost, but for countering enemy control and giving Ishmael the best chance to land those critical hits. Finally, remember that the teams you see in battles aren't always tested for precise win rates. Some lineups, like those built around Galahad, don't perform as well statistically in these matchups. The goal here isn't to claim this is the ultimate, unbeatable formation, but to showcase a well thought out and creative team composition that can deliver great results when played smartly. So, to wrap things up, this team thrives on synergy: Ishmael's relentless damage amplified by Sebastian's pure damage boost, Jorgen's energy control and damage redirection, Guus's powerful healing and knockback, and Aidan's protective bond that can save Ishmael in critical moments. But like any formation, it's not without its weaknesses, with threats like Iris, dodge-heavy teams, and certain counters that can turn the tide if you're not careful. Now it's your turn. What do you think about this setup? Have you tried a variation of it, or do you have your own tweaks that make it even stronger? Drop your thoughts, experiences, and ideas in the comments below so we can all learn from each other. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more in-depth strategies, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next guide. Remember, every great victory starts with the right plan. Build smart, adapt to your opponents, and dominate the battlefield. Salute and friendship.